Netflix's hit show Inside the World's Toughest Prisons is back for its 7th series. The show sees presenter and journalist Raphael Rowe stay at some of the world's most challenging and unique prisons. Due to a miscarriage of justice, Rowe spent 12 years behind bars in the UK for a murder he didn't commit.
I was 19 years old when they put me in prison. I'm 32 years old now. 12 years of my life lost, gone, forever. I'll never, ever get those years back.
Using this insight and experience, he can connect and empathise with the inmates he stays with. In this series, Rowe travels to 4 very different prisons, located in the Solomon Islands, the Czech Republic, Indonesia and Finland.
You know, the Czech Republic is close to Finland, but it's very different. The Solomon Islands is probably one of the furthest places in the world, and it only has 1 prison, and I got in there. Equally, you know, Indonesia is a very protective country, has stark drug laws. Drug trafficker gets executed by firing squad, and there I was in a prison where they housed all drug offenders.
Despite the show being in its 7th series, Raphael says that there are often times where his visits remind him of his own time spent behind bars.
I say it's not daunting. There are moments when I walk along those landings, because remember, I've got the uniform on. I'm living with the prisoners. I've now got to adopt that prison persona. And so there are moments where I have a little flashback where I think to myself, I did this for real. And that makes it all the more potent when I sit down and start talking to these guys. When I'm doing it as a journalist and I look up at the window, I know that I'm going to be able to get out of that window, out of that wall, but I know in that moment they can't do any of that and may not be able to do that for years to come. So those moments are very powerful for me, and I'm processing that as I'm interviewing these individuals and living in that space with them.
Raphael admits that prisoners who he met during filming sometimes reach out to him once they're released from jail.
There have been prisoners who, since their release, have looked me up on social media and sent me Facebook, Instagram messages. So in season 7, for example, one of the men that I spent time with in Finland has been killed since he's got out of prison. Another prisoner that I spent time with in Finland, who's also been released, contacted me to tell me that one of the guys had been killed. So we've had an exchange because he's brought me up to date. So yeah, I do keep in touch, but it depends on the reason for keeping in touch.